The entire team at Emsolation want to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. We want to recognise that we are recording and telling our stories on the stolen land of our country's first storytellers. We wish to pay our respects to all Wurundjeri elders and ancestors, and to extend that respect to any First Nations peoples who listen to Emsolation. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples' continued connection to the land and waters of this country, and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. Always was, always will be.
Emsolation.
You can't be giving a bunch of newborns pink eye. Who do you think you are?
And Michael Lucas.
Oh, I can never see a way that will blow up in your face. Unintended.
This is Emsolation.
Do you skip my stories on Instagram?
What? As opposed to diligently sitting there looking. Yeah, no, I'm selective.
You're in Emsolation.
Well, hello there and welcome to Emsolation. My name is Em Rusciano. I'm a writer, a singer, a stand-up comedian, a maximalist power queen, a neurodivergent magic brain, and together with my best friend since I was 11, screenwriter, Logie and actor award winner, Mr. Michael Lucas, I bring you this podcast every week. I'm just going to come straight off the bat and say our most chaotic, manic, funny, inappropriate offering yet. And I know that is a big call, but it is over an hour, depending on how much we have to edit. We haven't edited it yet. But when we say we promise you politics, princesses and penises, there's all of that, plus so much more. And right at the end, I'm going to give you a content warning, and there's also a little bit of a buffer. I give you like a sealed section insert, because a certain seggual term came up that I had misunderstood what it meant, so I made Michael explain it to me explicitly. So you have that to look forward to. Or skip if you feel like it's a bit much for you. We talk about, oh my goodness, Gwyneth Paltrow's innocent, Donald Trump is guilty, my backflip on a certain TV show. I went to the Goddess exhibition and Geena Davis was there and I made some mistakes, which will not shock any of you. We talk about my child shooting a video clip with 12 hours to spare. There is so much in there. It's a big bumper edition. How are you? I am on a high from going to the Grand Prix. I'm not going to bore you with it. It is one of my special interest topics. I could do an entire info dump, but it was just such a magnificent weekend. Vincey was sick. He got the flu and he tried to come and push through, and I just said, no, sir, you stay home. But we were texting feverishly throughout the entire weekend. But the Grand Prix itself, even if you're not into F1, I know you will have heard it was chaotic. It was so bonkers, the most bonkers in the history of F1, which I'm kind of proud of that happened in Melbourne. Fernando Alonso, a.k.a. Scott, who I'm convinced looks like my husband, he got a podium finish in third. It was just wild, and I was able to, I didn't talk to many people. I was able just to fixate on the track, which was great. And my husband really sat there and took all of my musings and all of my wonderment around Red Bull's DRS and how it is a good 10 seconds faster than anyone else's. It is wild. He just opened up, Max Verstappen just opened up around Lewis Hamilton, and they're on the straight, and I'm just and I text Dad, I'm he's got a DRS, and then that's it, Mercedes is done. And sure enough, boom, sorry, I said I wouldn't info dump. Anyway, it was a fantastic weekend. I'm feeling my cup is full. I need to do more of that. I realised over the last, I've been battling a bit, as we all know. Certain things have happened. I kind of shut myself away and haven't been doing things that make me feel good. So the Grand Prix and the exhibition last night and making sure I see my friends a bit more. Sometimes I kind of get into this thing of, I'm an introvert and I'm autistic and it's better off when there's no people around, and I kind of lock myself away thinking that I'm doing the right thing. But I think I need to not use that as not an excuse. Sometimes I do need to do that, but rather than having that as a blanket rule for everything, just making sure I leave the house every now and then. I'm not going to stay here for too long because, as I said, this is a goodie. I really love this episode. It's fucking wild. All right, gang, enjoy. Play the music.
Em Rusciano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
Michael Lucas not in studio because he has the flu he said he would never get, but yet here he is, full of snot and high on Codral. Hello.
Oh, you don't need to seem so happy about it.
Oh, you were very...
It is vindication, though. It's true. I like to think that I have... I don't know why. We've got a thing in our friendship that we like to question each other's immune systems. Why? Why do we do this constantly? Because there's so much evidence for either side. Like, there's so many times where you have just gone down, down, down. But you've said things like, you have the immune system of like a faint little cobweb. Which I disagree with.
You have the immune system of a 16th century Victorian child with the Black Plague. That is your immune.
So says the woman that has cancelled practically the last 5 times we're supposed to catch up because she's just too sick. As I've roamed in between countries and states.
I have children, okay? You do not. So I get Elio is bringing home every single bug from kinder, and it makes me so mad. And now I eyeball parents. They're dropping kids off with green snot coming out, and I'm like, great, I'm going to have that next week.
How dare you?
Don't take your kids to kinder if they've got green snot. Green snot means infected. You know, like, this is serious shit. It's not just some little mucus. And then the kindergarten teachers go down. It has been chaos at that kinder. I've started staying. I drop Elliot off at kinder now on Mondays, and I just flat out stay for an hour, and I read stories, and I make craft, and I do paintings, and my paintings are now on the wall at the kinder because they're so good. It is
Wow.
my favourite part of my week. Elio started asking me to leave. He's literally said, you can go now, Mum.
Well, it sounds like it's worth the sickness. I still like to think that I would drop him off and absorb all those. You know what? You should pitch a reality show, and it's like Immune System Master, and it's you and I, and every episode we get exposed to
like
different
Survivor.
diseases. But what would be riveting about it is you and I would both be too proud to admit we're sick. It'd be like that scene in Bridesmaids. You'd be going, oh, you're looking, is your voice? It sounds a bit husky there. Is that all right? No, I'm fine. Fine.
You
I can keep going.
literally missed the birth of my child because you got pink eye, because you're
Conjunctivitis,
Pink eye.
clarification. And it was like you could barely see it. It was just that they were being ultra cautious and saying that I shouldn't go in the room.
because you'd worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 3 months
true.
leading into the birth. And as always, when you end a project, you fall into a chasm of sick. And I'm like, can you just ease up? Because this is the date my child's being born. Sure enough, this dickhead with his big poo eye couldn't come in and see the birth. Missed it.
Clarification, it was not poo. It was just standard conjunctivitis, very mild. I did miss it. I did stand at the door.
You did.
Some people might see their disease-riddled friends still dragging themselves to the hospital out of pure love, but no!
Excuse me, you can't be giving a bunch of newborns pink eye. Who do you think you are? Oh, my goodness, they've got zero immunity. They're fresh to the world, and some disgusting, shit-lined eyeball human is standing there with crusty tears like, hello, I remember you when you get sick. You're like fucking cat weasel there. And I'm not going to let you in there.
Again, reiterating, there is no evidence whatsoever that this is shit-related. # fake news. Let's move on.
Nice segue. Trump officially, oh my goodness, it's happened.
Can I just say that I can't hear what that was?
Breaking
so I just
news.
have to go off Em's body language, which I would describe as like, I don't know, it was like a calypso dance, but she's a bit lazy. She can't get up.
It was a shimmy. Yeah, it was the breaking news sting, but I remembered how long it went last week when we were talking about Gwyneth.
All right.
Here we go. Trump officially arrested this morning, but we're not getting a mugshot. We're not getting one. Did you know
That's
that?
disappointing. No, why?
Because apparently there was an idea that he would use that to put on T-shirts and, you know, martyr himself and propel his cause further and really rally the troops. The fact that, you know, he's so hardcore about freedom fighting that he's willing to be arrested. But let's all brush up on why Trump has been arrested. He has been charged with 34 felony counts of fraud. The charges relate to a $130,000 payment made to buy the silence of one Stormy Daniels. Now,
Yes.
Stormy's doing great. Can I tell you what Stormy's been up to?
She's been on Twitter. I've seen that.
Not only did Stormy get the hush money and put it in the bank, she also has then got to sell her story many times over. And if memory serves, she was once shown a picture of various mushrooms and asked to point out...
Sorry. Couldn't help it.
How ironic the immunity chats just happened and he's had to sneeze.
It was a random sneeze.
It's Dusty. Anyway, do you remember she had to point out which mushroom best resembled Trump's penis?
Which of these orange mushrooms would most represent the commander-in-chief of the United States military?
Can you hold it up so it's coming at me at the correct angle? It's the most accurate depiction, yes.
Oh, yeah. She's
Brilliant.
thank God. I'm just so happy.
Me too.
That the porn star that he paid off had such a way with words and with analogies.
It was incredible. Incredible. Now, Stormy currently hosts a show called For the Love of Dilfs.
Welcome to For the Love of Dills. Oh, and did we mention it's hosted by Stormy Daniels?
Now I'm going to put my hand in my box and see who is going home.
And it's a show where we put to the test if daddies can fall in love with himbos. And it's narrated by a man called Dr. Dilf, and Stormy is the host. And we see if burly, hairy, older men can in fact fall in love with hard-bodied, heart of gold, airheaded himbos. And Stormy Daniels is the host. And there is a God, because...
Oh, my God. There is a God. And also, anyone who says the American dream is not real... Stormy Daniels, we present her as the ultimate evidence.
And I rest my case, Your Honour. So Trump, his lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid the $130K to Stormy, right? But then after investigating, we found out that Trump actually lodged that as his legal fees. It was just like a tax item. And, I get it. But I just feel like I had to get my giant inflatable penis written off as tax, but it legitimately was. I sometimes feel guilty about claiming false eyelashes. Like I don't because, I shouldn't. But no, Trump just thought...
I mean, I would stand on a court stand saying her career is in large part built on false eyelashes. This is an absolute essential business need.
But because I get an email every quarter from my accountant asking me to put whether this is a business expense or a personal expense, and I just love that Trump got an email from Michael Cohen. Hey, this $130K, is this a business expense or a personal expense? It's like, I paid off an adult, a porn star, so let's just call it business and be done.
But today we discover that wasn't even the highest amount he paid to silence a woman.
No, he paid $150,000 to Playboy model Karen McDougal to keep her quiet, and also paid off a doorman who had knowledge of an alleged child out of wedlock. Oh! It's wild times. So he was arrested, taken in. It was crazy scenes. Like the street was packed with police. He had an extra layer of fake tan on. He'd look like he'd been in Bermuda for the weekend. Like she'd really gone to town on the Sally Hansen for legs, but on the face. And so we don't get a mugshot. He's taken in. There's going to be a trial. I don't think they're going to televise it. I can't figure it out. Like I don't know. But my God, if we thought the Gwyneth Paltrow trial and does Stormy have to take to the stand? Like, are we going to get Stormy court fashion? And does Melania go? And what will Melania wear? Is she going to turn up with him every day?
I don't know. It's a tough one to know how to play for Melania. I mean, no comment from her yet.
No. What do you do?
I don't know. I mean, surely it's got to impact on you in some way to find out. I mean, I don't think there was any doubt in her mind that all of this was going on, but to have it be, like, absolutely the number one international story is a little bit... Like, you're not going to pull out the, frankly, I don't care coat for this.
That would be... so iconic if she wore that coat to the trial. Frankly, I don't care. Imagine! So the whole reason this is, it's not illegal to pay hush money to an adult porn star. I can't believe I'm saying that sentence. It's illegal to do so if you are running for president and falsifying documents which may sway the electorate towards...
And it counts as a campaign contribution that you should have declared as well. I mean... I don't dispute in any way the illegality of all of this, but I mean, I feel like it's the best thing to have happened. His campaign, since, like, I feel like everyone was losing interest in him
I agree.
big time, and he has got it back, and it's wall-to-wall coverage, and that sends an absolute chill down my spine, and I can't help but think of the unicorn of death going, I saw it.
Yep, I did, and I still do very much so. Can I read you this excerpt from this article? The question is, can Trump still run for president? Yes, there is nothing in the US Constitution to prevent Mr. Trump from continuing his election campaign now he's being charged. Even if he is imprisoned, he can still run for president and win the election from his jail cell. Can you imagine? But you know what? That's not something that I find inconceivable in any way.
No, nor do I. I truly think that, this is why they don't want to release the mugshot, because it is good branding. And also, up until now, he loves an enemy. He loves a fucking enemy so much. And up until now, it's been great for people on the left because his enemy have just been all the other Republican candidates. And so they've been tearing each other apart. Now his enemy is the whole justice system and the Democrats and everything like that. And he will be riding this one in with blanket 24-hour coverage. And if it has to be from a jail cell, so be it.
I'm just going to play you my most favourite response from one Marjorie Taylor Greene upon Trump's arrest this morning.
President Trump is joining some of the most incredible people in history being arrested today. Nelson Mandela was arrested, served time in prison. Jesus was arrested and murdered by the Roman government. There have been many people throughout history that have been arrested and persecuted by radical, corrupt governments. And it's beginning today in New York City. And I just can't believe it's happening, but I'll always support him. He's done nothing wrong.
So, yes, Jesus definitely paid some hush money.
To a porn star. As did Nelson Mandela.
This is wild.
You truly do look at the United States at the moment and think, oh fuck, I think we're calling last drinks on the free United States, because this shit is wild.
Look, we'll let it play out, but as I predicted a long time ago, he will most definitely be the Republican candidate and most definitely win. This trial, this whole scenario makes him a hero, a martyr. Like, it's publicity that no one could buy. You're right, no one gave a shit about Trump, but he is trending on Twitter and he's not even allowed to be on Twitter.
I know.
So
we'd lost interest in him, and now, unfortunately, he's back. And it's a killer. And also the worst thing is, like, we all knew that he pays off. It's not like it's a revelation that's going to, like, change anyone's perspective on him at all. Like, we all knew this already.
Yeah, it's not damaging in any way. So, look, while we're in the American justice system, we must, of course, briefly touch on Gwyneth Paltrow's Gwynessence. She has been vindicated. She did not cause the injuries to Dr. Terry. And, look, I can't tell you how many times I have replayed her exiting the courtroom.
I think it should be studied.
If you don't know, I don't know if I don't think if we put a grab in, people won't hear it. But
no, you can't hear it. You can't hear it. But that's what is so incredible about it, is it was so softly spoken.
Yeah.
She didn't need to even introduce any volume to her voice.
So she got up very quickly and it was announced, and she exited that courtroom at speed. But as she walked behind the back of Dr. Terry, she leant in quickly and said, "I wish you well," and then gone. And
Heaven.
oh my God. I can't.
When I sent it to Em, and Em thought that I was doing some sort of camp joke.
I did. I said to you, "I don't believe you. Hilarious, good job." And you're like, "No, bitch."
That is what she did.
I wish. Okay, so we need to know how much thought went into it, because I would have said things like, "Fuck you." Oh, I hope your penis rots and falls off. I would not have said, "I wish you well." So how much we must believe that there was pre-thought on this? Or do you think in the moment Gwynny did it off the cuff?
Oh, fuck. No, I think pre-thought. I think Gwyneth is someone who plans ahead. And she was clearly, I mean, that's like saying, were the outfits she was wearing?
Oh, my God.
Were they just things she threw on in the morning? No, not one of them. Of course not. I hope there was a whole team. I hope there were mood boards that went into it. Am I disappointed she didn't go, I wish you well, and then she went, and here's the code for 30% discount of IV drips at Goop. Would be amazing. Alas, no. But no, it was perfect. It was perfect. Couldn't have written it better, couldn't have performed it better. And much like Donald Trump, I mean, what a thing for her brand.
Oh, my God. She was all but out for the count when we were putting ozones up our anus. And now there's entire, click and buys on fashion websites. Recreate Gwyneth's courtroom look. So, okay.
Yeah. She's outsmarted us because we were sitting here saying, why would you not settle? How can this possibly turn out to be good? Well, prove wrong. Never doubt Gwyneth.
Never.
She knows her brand. She's riding so high. She's an international legend at this point. So thank God we weren't advising her.
I wish you well. Oh, my God. I'm obsessed.
M. Rusciano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
Last night I attended the Goddess exhibition opening at ACMI in Melbourne, and it is a celebration of about 130 years of women in film, staunch, amazing, fierce women, Mae West, Anna May Wong, Marilyn Monroe, and a lot of the costuming was involved. But the draw card of the night was Geena Davis. Obviously, League of Their Own, Thelma and Louise, etc., Olympic archer. She was the guest of honour. And so, obviously, naturally, I thought that we would all see her and be able to, talk to her and stuff.
I was imagining basically just you standing in a circle talking with Geena.
Yeah, no, that is not how things played out.
Oh, damn it, because you got such an in, because you were like, I was an athlete too, as well as...
Exactly what I was going to open with. Exactly.
A feminist icon performer. We've got so much in common, Geena.
You know me so well. So I walked the red carpet and I was just... I should not... Vogue pulled me for a chat and I got really flustered because it was Vogue, so I'm like, oh God. And they were asking really earnest questions like, what does a goddess mean to you? And, why is representation important? And all the things that I normally nail, right? But I was just really kind of distracted and I was looking for Geena because I wanted to talk about our training regimes and I wanted to ask her about what serums she uses, and not that it matters, but my God. And so I just said, goddesses, I don't know. You probably shouldn't ask me because I sometimes wear bathers as undies. And then I'm like, I wanted to swallow because all the Vogue people looked like Gwyneth Paltrow, various versions of her standing around. And they were just looking at me like, and the girl who was interviewing me, even worse, didn't hear it properly because she was looking around trying to find someone more famous than me to interview. So she just went, yeah. And so I'm just sitting there like, she didn't even respond to the comment.
No.
My God, how long have I been waiting to do something with Vogue, something with the fashion, and that is my contribution. And it's not even true. I don't do that anymore. I used to, but not anymore because it gives me thrush. So I just go and buy new undies when I run out because I haven't done the washing in a long time. So it's not even true.
You need to put out a press release. M. Rusciano would like to clarify, does not wear bathers for undies due to thrush.
Idiot. So I'm
sure they put in a direct call to Anna Wintour going, you know how we're going to do the 50 questions with M. Rusciano? Let's just can it.
I know.
All I'm saying.
Oh, God. Imagine if I had got loose on the 50 questions. That would not be good. It would just be a conscious stream of stuff they could not put online.
Oh, it would be fucking good. And I still think this is good. And also, what you skipped over is that you did look sensational. And I would describe it was brutally glamorous with just enough Disney villainous in the DNA of what you're wearing. There was a slight 101 Dalmatians vibe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And actually, it was more than slight.
No, it was 100% Cruella. I really took the brief seriously because, goddesses to me are the Disney villains. And obviously, I thought a lot about it. And I did have so many amazing young queer people come up to me and say, best dressed. Take that, Vogue.
Real victory.
Take that, Vogue. It was amazing. It was such a cool crowd. And I had Ruben Kay, Lucia Wilkinson, Melissa Leong, Santilla. I had all these Art Simone, all my friends that are never in the same...
Hayden.
Chloe Hayden. Like, oh my God, I love her so much. We were all just together in the one space. And in what universe would we all be together, that collection of my friends? And Lisa looked around in front of everyone, Wilkinson, and said, you have such great friends. And then she brought up you and Michael Lucas. I mean, we'd just be complete if he was here. And I said, I'll tell him that. So here I am telling you. She loves you so much.
Thank you.
It was just such a great collection. And so obviously I was just looking around for my pal Geena, right? Like, where's Geena? Of
course.
Speeches start and, oh, God, museum speeches, like the earnestness of the women that do it, like, bless them. But we don't need to thank Harry the hirer for the chairs, you know. Like, honestly.
One would hope he's been paid.
He's been paid. So we got that. There was a beautiful acknowledgement of country. That was amazing. So what I really wanted was the acknowledgement of country, Geena, then exhibition. That was the best case scenario for me. But there was like lots and lots of speakers, dudes on boards and things. And then they're like, and go look at the exhibition. And I'm like, huh, but where's Geena? Like,
yeah. Where's the star attraction?
No.
Oscar winner.
So I said to Santilla, who I went with, where's Geena? And she points. There was a roped off area and it was in the corner and Geena was sitting behind a velvet rope. So there's about, 200 of us in the ACMI foyer. Gina's in a corner behind a rope with one other person. So we're just all walking past looking at her like she's a fucking zoo animal. And she won't come out apparently because she's afraid of getting COVID. I'm like, doll, that velvet rope is not going to protect you from getting COVID.
Velvet rope, as Janet Jackson once dedicated a whole album.
Thank you.
So this, but she was saying it's a bad thing because celebrities are disconnected from the real world and their own feelings.
Correct.
Hi, gay.
Geena.
Exactly. So she didn't exit that area. It was really strange. She sat in there and so like I was peering in. Hi, Geena, how's the archery going? Like, I train too. I have muscular arms also. I'm quite tall. Nah, she was not engaging at all. So I had to shake off the disappointment. I didn't even see her. Like I saw the back of, because she's brunette now, because initially I was looking for red hair for some reason, because she's still League of Our Own in my brain. And so, but honestly, I saw some footage of her at the event I was at, but I didn't see her in person and she looks incredible, not that it matters. And so we went down into the exhibition, Michael, we went down and there's glittery wallpaper that says Goddess. But the first thing I saw when I walked around the corner was Madonna's Material Girl film clip playing in full Jumbotron and Marilyn Monroe's dress on a bust form, the actual dress from when she sings Diamonds, and it was too much. Santilla said to me, are you okay? She said, your face, like I thought I was going to spontaneously combust. And then a couple of lovely young gay men came over who listened to Emsolation and they're like, Emma, you okay? They knew. That was so cute. And I had to stand there and then I had tears in my eyes because it's just so overwhelming to see the dress, to see Madonna.
But was it Madonna's dress or Marilyn's, or are they the same?
I don't know, but let's say yes.
Okay. Let's say you were very close to two bits of fabric.
Yeah.
No, one bit of fabric
bit of
that had touched
hot pink.
two iconic females.
But then I walk around the corner and her Marilyn Monroe's dress from Some Like It Hot with the love heart detail on the bum was there. And it was just like, it was beautiful. And then I'm looking at this figure and I remember she was referred to as a curvy woman, as someone who was like maybe even plus size. And I'm looking at
She was indeed.
This dress, she was not what we would deem curvy. And like she was, I would say like a size 6, which is not, it's so strange the way bodies are viewed and remembered and like the way women are made to feel about their bodies. And the fact that her body at any point in time she was made to feel ashamed of. Women should never feel shame about their bodies, whatever the size. But it was wild to me that this dress that I was looking at was at one point considered, not of average female size. I don't know. It just blew my mind. And then they had Mae West's dress. Come up and see me sometime. Like the actual...
Yeah. So you do rate the exhibition. You might have been disappointed with the Geena factor of the opening, but the exhibition you were into, was it just those particular pieces that elicited the quasi-religious reaction in you?
I think because I love costuming and hand beading and camp, I think if you're into that, the exhibition is so worth your time. Like it is And the fact that it's happening and being celebrated, and there's costuming from Anime Wong, there was women from, every nationality represented on screen. So it wasn't just the usual sirens. And they also have a separate section of Muriel's wedding costumes, which was a shame. But they weren't in the exhibition. They're up in the main part, which I thought was a shame.
They live there.
Yeah.
They're part of our national legacy.
I just feel like there could have been more Australian representation within the exhibition.
They've got Deborah Melman on the poster, I see.
Yeah, her costumes came up on a screen, not actually in.
Ah.
Yeah. It was great, but I didn't get to meet Geena Davis. So that was a bit disappointing. But on the whole, it was a wonderful evening, and I look pretty good. I did look pretty good.
Yeah, no question. You got a trio picture with Sam Tiller and Melissa Leong.
Yeah.
And look, you nailed it.
Yeah.
What can I say? I like to think you took at least 70 shots to get that perfect facial expression, but it was probably a first one-off thing.
We just did
God.
one. Well, I stand before you prepared to do another backflip on something.
Oh, no. Come on. We haven't yet recovered from the Crocs. Jesus Christ. What else is there?
I don't know how to say this.
I'm scared.
I have become obsessed with the TV show Ted Lasso.
Oh, okay. Look, it's not quite... Just hang on. I need to take a moment. I'm going to say it's not as long held an aversion. It wasn't ever in your bio. Having said that, you weren't into Jason Sudeikis. And also you proudly, when the whole world is swimming in one direction, you proudly start backstroking in the opposite direction. And Ted Lasso is like basically, humanity's favourite television show. And it's so bro-y, or that's what you thought anyway.
It's not.
But now have you cracked into it and found it a delightful, smart and moving exploration of men and mental health and all those things that everyone always said it was, and it's just taken you years to get there?
Damn it! Why? I sat down. So Marcella and Scott and I have been looking for a show to watch together because we can't find anything, but we always want to have a TV show to watch. And so Odie's way too cool, so whatever.
And it's a tough brief, can I say, to find something for the three of you. You and Chella, no worries. But to stir and Scott into that mix, Jesus, what are you left with? Game of Thrones is about all I can think of.
Yeah, and even Chella doesn't have the attention span for that. So she said, Mum, he'll like Ted Lasso. Trust me, I've watched it. You'll like it, and I want to watch it again. And I said, fine, but I'm giving you 10 minutes. And then that's it. So I sat down with my arms crossed, and I sat there like an ice block. And then as it started playing, and I saw the relationship between Ted and Coach Beard, and then I met Rebecca and Roy.
As soon as that beautiful, tall, statuesque blonde bitch walked on you've no defences that can help you with that.
You're fired. I suppose I could go for any number of reasons, really. Maybe it's because you insist on wearing those tiny shorts that force me to see one of your testicles. And there's the other one, Liam and Noel, though perhaps not an oasis. Now do piss off, you fat twat.
Also, I realised, and we all discussed it, my personality is a combination of Ted, Rebecca and Roy. Like, if you were to combine me into one person, and I'm just obsessed with Roy, who's the elder statesman of the team, the captain. He's really angry all the time. He abuses everyone, but with love, but he's got so much love in him. And I'm like 6 episodes into season 1. And I can't believe how much I love it. It is like, no wonder people were using it as a salve for lockdown. No wonder people who are, so sad and in the doldrums found a lifeline in Ted Lasso. I wish to apologise to any Ted Lasso fans that I offended or that I belittled. I want to encourage anyone who was turned off by my hatred of Ted Lasso to please revisit the show. I am woman enough. I can flap up and admit when I was wrong, and I was wrong. Mark this in your diaries. I'm so, so sorry.
I forgive you.
What a mea culpa. At this rate, we're going to have to introduce a segment on this show, Amelia Culpa, which is just basically
me backflipping.
You backflipping on something strongly held. Maybe this is what middle age is. You just suddenly realise.
I think I also am just not afraid to be wishy-washy. Do you know what I mean? There was a time where I
don't describe it as wishy-washy because I feel like you strongly plant a flag one way and then you'll lift it up and you'll strongly plant it almost the other. It doesn't. You don't wash between the two. you do a full triple pike and then land in the completely opposite thing.
But when I plant the flag, I plant it knowing there's a chance I might yank it out. You know, I'm not married to the spot where I've planted it. I don't
No, you've planted a flag. You haven't laid down concrete foundations.
No.
No,
it's like a golf thing and the thing on the course in the hole with the stick and the flag.
It's like a tent that you pitch at the beach, very well reinforced in lots of ways, way beyond what is necessary at any kind of beach setting, but able to be taken out, yes, and quickly.
If a strong enough gust of wind of change comes along, that thing will be flipped down the beach on its head. I don't care, I'll backflip. I'm Simone Biles. I'm a backflip.
I think you've made a good choice, and also it's great to get into it now because it is a nice change of pace from Succession. The two of them are rolling out simultaneously, so you can just have an hour where you feel that the world is horrible, nasty, and essentially humanity is fucked, and then you go over to Ted Lasso and be re-inspired.
Two more things to chat about. Well, maybe just one. We'll see. A lot of you came along on a journey with my middle child, Odette, and I 2 nights ago. Odette has ADHD, inattentive type. She's being assessed for autism also. She came to me on Sunday night and said, Mum, my media project is due on Tuesday and I have to shoot a video clip to a song and I haven't started. And I said, what? Okay. And I've been at the Grand Prix for 3 days. Oh, my God, we haven't even spoken about the fucking Grand Prix. God.
Oh, what a tragedy. I'm so disappointed that we haven't had a sports segment. Have so many insights to share.
You fucking...
As if I didn't practically watch the entire thing in your Instagram stories. Going click, 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 click.
Are you saying you did not watch my insightful yet whimsical F1 analysis? How dare you, sir?
I know that it was an exciting race and that there was drama and things were happening and you were breathless.
Do you skip my stories?
You and Vincey were texting like crazy, speculating.
Do you skip my stories on Instagram?
What? As opposed to diligently sitting there looking through. I tell you what, I watched every single second of the Odette making the video clip one. I would not. I drank that up. Yeah, no, I'm selective.
I remember that. Oh, I better make my content more interesting so that I can gauge my best friend of 9,000 years. You will fucking sit through my stories.
There is no way you can make car racing interesting to me. They did everything they could. They made a fucking movie about it with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, and they even got together and met and fell in love and got married. It still was not enough to get me into car racing.
That is not F1, you lunatic.
What's that one?
Like supercars. That's not F1 driving. Oh, my God, you're so lame.
Isn't that just like a different kind of car? Okay, sorry.
Hi, gay. Hi, gay.
I can't believe you don't watch my stories. Like, honestly, do you want me to get good engagement? Do you want me to get good sponsorship? Like, sit through every fucking story. I want a report now on my stories from you. If you won't even... I watch my husband flick through so fast he gets a fucking paper cut from the screen. You will sit through and watch my stories, and they're very entertaining.
I do. I just make a special exception for F1.
Whatever. So, yes, Odette came to me. Anyway, the F1 was insane, the most insane ever. Everyone crashed. It was so good. Sidebar. Odette came to me, I'm like, oh, my God, okay, fine. How far into the shooting process are you? She's like, I haven't started. Oh, my God.
Can I just say, you as a person and a mother, I feel like you were built for this moment.
100%.
I honestly feel like if I was writing Russiono family fan fiction, my opening would be Odette comes running in and go, Mum, we've got 6 hours to make the most incredible video clip of all time, and it would just be hero mode engaged
100%.
As far as Em is concerned.
You should see me. I was like, okay, right. Have you done a storyboard? She's like, yes. So she gives me the storyboard. I'm like, okay, right, okay. What do we need for costuming? All right, we're going to have to get actors. And then we're like, can we just shoot it with Chella? So then we had to convince Chella, which, look, that was the hardest part. She is the Leia Michelle of our family. Let's just put it that way. In terms of trying to get this woman to agree to star in her sister's music video clip, so many things had to happen for this. No, she was great. So I'm like, okay, babes. All right, play me the song. So Odie had picked this fucking boring, lilty, cool, indie, no storyline, whatever song. I'm like, I can't get a narrative off this. What are we doing? She's like, no, this is the song I want. So we went, it was like dusk. We were on 12 hours to make this thing, and we shot it on the streets of Warrandyte in the hills. There were kangaroos. It was sunset. Marcella
You
wore...
had beautiful weather,
Yeah,
can I just say? Like
it was
I was looking at it, it was stunning.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Looking out over the treetops of Warrandyte.
Yeah.
Magic hour.
Yeah, it was good. And Marcella was twirling, and we had mascara running down her face, and she was driving my big four-wheel drive around wearing one of my very expensive dresses, which will never recover because she walked into the Yarra, but we all suffer for our art. Nothing's getting the stench of the fucking Yarra River off that damask. And so we finished filming it. There was a lot of laughing going on. We had a lot of curious kangaroos. We get home, and then Odie starts editing at 10 o'clock, and I sat in the bed next to her, and I was like giving her snacks. I made her eggs on toast, and she's editing it all up. And then about 1 o'clock, I will kind of wake up, and she's like, it's done. And I'm like, good on you, babes. So the next morning, she got up. She had the premiere in our lounge room at about 7 a.m. before she got the bus to school. And then Scott's like, well done, Odie. Well done, Chella. And I'm sitting there and I'm like...
Waiting for your moment, your acknowledgement.
What about, well done, Mummy? He's like, what did you do?
Oh.
Yeah, fucker. What? Sorry, what? What did I do? Well, you sat on the couch watching some stupid bike race. I storyboarded, I costumed, I did hair and makeup, I drove, I provided lighting, and then I sat with our child until 1 a.m. while she edited it, keeping her spirits up. You sat on the couch and then went to bed. Like, how dare you, sir? Honestly, the bar is so low. I've had it. I didn't speak to him for the whole day. He's like, what is going on? I'm like, you do not. Like, and I said to Odie, you better, like the credits literally read, shot by Odette, and then it's just my name 25 times. Gaff, lighting, makeup, hair.
Continuity. Special thanks.
Oh, there was no continuity. We had to put that down to artistic choices. So the full video clip is done. We'll put it up on our social media. You can watch it in its entirety. Marcella should definitely be nominated for some kind of Logie or some situation, but we fucking did it, mate. Like, we did it.
She should be nominated for a Logie. You should be offered some sort of Order of Australia medal.
Oh, God, I'll take
And
one.
Scott should get nothing except a quiet corner to think about what he's done.
I'd love that. He'd love a quiet corner. None of us had him. He'd fucking live for a quiet corner. That man, I'll tell you right now, Jesus Christ. Scott goes into the toilet every morning for, like, so long. 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, he gets up specially to have his time. And Elio has just started opening the door now and just saying, too long, Daddy. Elio gets my phone and puts the stopwatch on, and he sits on it, and then he walks in and shows his dad how long he's been on the toilet. Elio cannot believe, because Elio has sensory issues and cannot get off the toilet quick enough because he doesn't want to have to smell the poo or the wee. He cannot believe his father chooses to sit in the aroma of his own shit for nearly an hour. It blows Elio's mind. It blows his mind. So Scott loves a quiet corner. Don't worry about that. All right. Well, we didn't really talk about the fact that you saw Barack Obama or the Grand Prix. But
No, I think we can live with that. The only good thing about Barack Obama was that he accidentally called Julie Bishop Julia the whole time, and she never corrected him, and I loved it. But Adrian and I dispute. Adrian says it's because of his tendency to go, so it was kind of like Julia. But I think he was saying Julia, and it was intensely awkward, and she could never, what can you do? You can't do anything. She just had to endure it the whole time. It was incredible.
Oh, my God. I can't believe J. Bish didn't correct. She strikes me as a name corrector.
I have had confirmation that it happened in the Sydney one too.
Yes!
I know. And imagine, out of all the, I mean, one can see how it happened. Julie becomes Julia so easily, but it is probably her greatest political rival. And also, he had amazing chemistry with Julia Gillard. Everyone knows that. And I'm just going to say she did a good job. Great head prefect energy. There was no amazing chemistry between them.
Wow. Scandal. I love it. Anyway, Fernando Alonso got on the podium. Thank God. First time those three have ever been. Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, 3 safety cars. It's a record. We have never had 3 red flags in a Grand Prix ever in the history of it. It was insane. It was such a good race. Okay.
How did Lewis Tomlinson go?
That is the one from One Direction. Lewis Hamilton.
Hamilton. See, that was in my mind, but I thought
wow.
you were just saying that because it's a musical.
I literally just said his name 5 seconds before you said Lewis Tomlinson.
I tuned out.
Hey, have you seen what he's done to his face, that guy?
One Direction or
the guy from One
racing
Direction?
car driver?
No, Lewis Hamilton, speaking of. Quick side quest. Is this the longest podcast we've ever made? The guy from One Direction, am I thinking of the right James? Which one am I thinking of? He's had the buccal fat removed. Liam?
Oh,
have you seen the pictures?
I have seen that.
Don't remove permanent buccal. Is it? I think I keep going to bukkake or isn't there a sex move involving that word? Hi, gang. I just wanted to interject. We're about to go into an Emsolated sealed section. Remember when Dolly would do that, or Cosmo, and you'd have to like steam the glue open to be able to get inside to see some pain? Well, Michael and I are about to really go into some sexual territory. So you have been warned. Warning. Please know a lot of sex stuff is coming. Okay.
Bukkake involves other things actually hitting your face, not being removed from them.
So every time I hear someone's had the buccal fat removed, I think they're saying...
bukkake. You would not want to make the wrong appointment booking, is all I can say. Or maybe you would.
And on
You
that
should offer it as a double bill.
You should be...
First, we remove the bukkake fat, then we add the bukkake. It's very hydrating, very moisturising.
It's such a goop situation. Hey,
it is.
Can you please explain to me what it is? But just do it in a way that's appropriate. Because I don't know what it is. What is...
What? Imagine that there are people like with children in the car as they're driving.
No, not children, but like... Nah, just go. What is it? Just do it. Just tell me what it is. Are you Googling? Can you Google it? What is it?
No, you know what it is.
I don't.
It's basically like
What's the term?
You are
Bukkake.
surrounded, like there's one person is the receiver. And by the receiver, it means that they're just, look, I can't say it without just saying the words. You're going to be ejaculated on by multiple people all at once. So you just sit there and like one thinks of the Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga song Rain on Me. That's what it's like. Yes, basically you just sit there and, I mean, I have not experienced it, I want to say, or participated in it. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Wait, you're explaining it very badly. So is this like, okay, so we're in a pass the parcel situation circle and someone sits in the middle of the circle and so bukkake is not, I thought it was people. Oh my God, this is not what I thought it was.
What do you think it was?
I thought bukkake was people. So it's like they shoot poo at someone from their buttholes.
I don't think so. I don't think that there is a fecal version of it. I think that we're just talking about.
That's what I thought it was.
Basically.
So everybody surrounds one person. How many people are we talking? Like, is it enough to have a small gathering? Like, is it a party? Like, do you have to invite enough? Like, do you have to have 10 friends to be able to do this? Because
I think you just need multiples. I think 3 or more is
right.
How you would get. And as I understand it, it began in Japanese culture. Read into that what you will. But I'm pretty sure it began in Japan and now has spread. And let's just say it's really found a home for itself in gay porn.
Michael, I still don't understand what happens.
What do you mean? One person's down on the ground, on their knees, as Madonna sang, and then there's a circle of naked people around them masturbating, and they all ejaculate on one person. So one person gets absolutely covered.
But I imagine they have to stand quite close because the range.
They do, yes. Of course they do.
Because I've never measured how far jizz can fly, but I don't think it could be I don't think it couldn't go the distance.
It's very variable.
Right.
One of the things that you don't learn until you start sleeping with multiple men.
Mark this down in your calendar.
The big changes.
I mean, whatever the day is.
But yeah, of course it is very close. It is an intimate activity
but you need enough room to be able to perform the masturbation. You'd be smacking the person in the head with your fist. Like, you have to allow for do they get a tape measure out? Do they mark out spots on the floor like you're shooting a TV commercial? Like, how do you know where to be? Oh, this is too much anxiety for me.
I'm just going to say, this has been very well recorded on video. If you just want to do a Google video search of bukkake, all these questions will be answered.
Nope, I never want to know what it looks like. You know how I often say, oh, God, I've got to make Sophie's choice because I'm not sure if I want the beef or the chicken? I've never seen that movie. I don't want to know what it's about. Don't ruin it. I will never Google this because I don't want to know.
I can never see a way that will blow up in your face. Pun intended. Anyway.
Hi, gay.
What an ending. Oh, my God.
So sorry,
Pun intended. Jesus.
You
Let's
should
stop
be high on Codral more often. All right, well, get better soon, and I'll see you soon.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
I wish you well. Thank you.
This is Emsolation.
Okay, that's it. Well, are you feeling more educated now after that sealed section? And if you skip the sealed section, that is totes fine by me. I also just wanted to briefly say to you before I leave you for the week, the post I put up on Instagram around autistic lunchboxes. The comments section has been so glorious and lovely and supportive and restored my faith in social media somewhat. I did talk about how I saw the woman, who put up a picture of her kid's lunchbox thinking it wasn't good enough, and me seeing it going, lady, that is good. And again, I was not judging her. I was thinking, oh my God, imagine if she saw Elio's lunchbox, because Elio is autistic and will only eat beige foods. And I put up the video of last week's podcast on my socials, and so many of you gathered there to support each other. And also, I really enjoyed reading some of your children's niche food requirements, but also I agreed with pretty much all of them. I understood the rationale behind them, but it was a safe space and a way to feel less alone, because I know if you have a child on the spectrum or a couple kids on the spectrum, or it can be, I get teary. It can be really lonely. You can feel like, you're the only one going through it, because it just doesn't get spoken about enough. So that is my job, and I will continue to do that. And I realized that is so important. And so I promise you, I will talk more about, being on the spectrum and being the parent of someone on the spectrum. And I can see. And if you haven't read the comments, even if you're a neurotypical, go and check out the post on my Instagram, because it's just wild. Some of these kids, I have to say, a lot of autistic kids are happy to raw dog their Vegemite on bread. No butter, just no protection, just raw dogging the Vegemite straight onto a piece of bread. I respect it. All right, gang, thank you so much for being here. As always, check out our socials. Please become a pen pal. There's a lot of exciting developments over the next couple of weeks. Things are a-changing, and we're going to need all of you on board and in the know. So make sure you sign up to the newsletter. And also, if you'd like to become a patron, we would really love that. It's extra level support for us. All that information is on the Instagram. Or you could shout the team a coffee, just a one-time little, hey, well done, guys, here's a coffee. You can do that as well. But yeah, bio on the Instagram, click that little link and all the information is there for you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I see you. Have a fantastic rest of the week, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.
Emsolation with M. Rossiano is a Spotify exclusive podcast recorded at Down the Hill Studios, hosted by M. Rossiano with Michael Lucas and sometimes her eldest daughter, Marcella. Executive produced by Benjamin Wasley. Produced by M. Rossiano. Edited by Ezekiel Fenn. With videos by James Henderson. Socials by Marcella Rossiano Barrow. With assistance from Jem Evans, plus cameos from M's dad Vinci. Get the full Emsolation experience by following us on Instagram at Emsolation Podcast. You can also sign up for our weekly newsletter. Join other Emsolators at the Emsolation group on Facebook. The answer is Harry Styles. If you really want to help us out, you could become a patron of Emsolation. Share this podcast with a friend. Give us a 5-star rating and make sure you're following us on the Spotify app by actually hitting the follow button. As always, thanks for listening, and we're excited to chat with you again soon.
In the middle of our tournament, where my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there, I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head. So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't. And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.